Okay, hello everyone. I'm Mike Scott. I'm a guitarist. I've been a guitarist with Prince until his untimely demise. Started with Prince back in the 90s and until the early 2010 or 12. I also play guitar with Justin Timberlake. Been with Timberlake for the last 3 tours, 15, 17, 18 years or something like that. And I'm here now at the WDR we're doing a Prince tribute. We did a Prince tribute 2 weeks ago with the WDR Orchestra. Amazing orchestra, and Vince Mendoza is the conductor. And this week, I remained behind after we finished the Prince tribute, and we're doing a Curtis Mayfield tribute. So I'm still here. I'm using Hughes and Kettner amps and the music store's model of famed guitars, as well as Curtis Mayfield plays the Telecaster. So I'm using a Telecaster, of course. But the reason we're here today is the Hughes and Kettner stuff. I've been playing Hughes and Kettner amps since late 90s, I guess. They're great amps. If you played one, you already know this. I don't have to tell you. I started my career on a Switchblade. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Switchblade. And that was back on Justin's Future Sex Love tour. I started playing Switchblades. And then I toured with an artist named Georgia, a very famous singer in Italy. And I began to use the Triumphs with her because it was a bigger, we were doing arenas and stadiums. So I continued playing Hughes and Kettner and also used the Montana Acoustic amp before they came out with the Era 1 here, which is an amazing amp, amazing acoustic amp. If you have not tried one, you should try one. And I play Paul Reed Smith's The Hollow Body 2 is my, I play a lot of guitars, but the Hollow Body 2 is my go-to axe because it has piezo and electric out, which allows me to separate the signal to the Era 1 and to the Hughes and Kettner. And this famed 20th anniversary that I'm holding here also has a piezo system. So, and the beautiful famed acoustic I run through the Era as well. The reason I love Hughes and Kettner amps are because they're very consistent. The tone is great. You can get anything from a funk sound. And I know a lot of you metal players and rock players use this amp, but there's a lot of other characteristics in Hughes and Kettner amps that you should explore, like the Grandmeister Deluxe. And I'm using the Black Spirit because of the weight, and it's 200 watts. So you can't beat that. Programmable amp. It's got effects in it, 4-channel. So you got clean, crunch, you got a lead, and you can do a high gain lead with the help of a boost. And it's also got pre-programmed effects in it. So if you're not familiar with all the qualities of this amp, you should explore them because it sounds amazing clean, as well as it does on 11 at 200 watts. So Hughes and Kettner, man, very consistent company. Been with them forever. I think I'll be playing them until the wheels fall off. Oh, it's going great. It's amazing to do these arrangements. Like even the Prince stuff. I've been with Prince for years, and this is the first opportunity to have an orchestra behind us on his hits. And it was amazing. It was incredible. It was sometimes it was distracting to play because they sounded so incredible. And we just weren't used to the people that came with me, MPG members. We weren't used to hearing these beautiful arrangements done by Vince Mendoza over top Prince's music. So it was very interesting. And now we're doing Curtis Mayfield, and Curtis was one of the most amazing conductors, songwriters of that period. And Vince again has taking his expertise, and we're using brass section, woodwinds, as well as strings and a harp and everything. So it's a huge production of some beautiful arrangements by Curtis. And I'm playing Telly because Curtis played Telly a lot. So that's what I'm doing that to in honor of him. And it also sounds amazing through my Hughes and Kettner Black Spirit. Well, it's still different. If I could try to reference it in a way, it's similar to eating your favorite meal that you've eaten a million times, but all of a sudden someone has added a spice or a side item that makes the meal completely even more amazing. So playing the Prince songs for so long, as let's see, we had Cassandra O'Neill, Ricky Peterson on keys, Kirk Johnson, all MPG members of Paul Peterson, Ricky's brother. And we had this amazing percussionist that was with us. And we did the Prince songs because we've been playing the Prince songs forever. So it was amazing to add Vince's element. It was just a combination of two different worlds that came together in a beautiful way. That's a good question because due to the fact that Prince is a guitar player and also Curtis is a guitar player, it puts a lot of, I won't say pressure, but it's a heavy seat to hold down, some big shoes to fill, because the guitar with Prince, as you all know, it has to sound like Prince. It has to be amazing like Prince. So by the grace of God, I was able to work with Prince and learned to play similar enough to him that he would, when he put his guitar down, he wanted to hear it as though he was still playing. So him combining the things he taught me about funk and the elements I already had when I arrived with Prince allowed me to come up with a unique sound and style that satisfied an amazing guitar player such as Prince. And Curtis is an amazing guitar player as well. So this gig is it requires a guitar. It requires a lot of funk, a lot of sexy, a lot of interesting guitar parts. Well, me being familiar with the functions of the Hughes and Kettner amps, like the Grandmeister and the Tubemeister, and the best thing about these amps is that you can save the presets, and once you find a sound you like, you save it, and every time you turn the amp on, that sound is there. So that's a wonderful plus for these amplifiers. And I also have a boost to get if I need the lead to cut even more. But this has an amazing noise gate on it that's very transparent. And if I had kicked it in just now, because I'm old and I'm having trouble seeing the look at this. What's this?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's very fast and sensitive.
Very fast, very sensitive.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is a great amp, and I'll come back again. I'm not knocking any of you metal players that play this amp because it's for metal. It's amazing. You can do blues, you can do rock, you can do funk, you can do country, you can do anything on not only this amp, all of Hughes and Kettner's guitar amplifiers are just as versatile as the Black Spirit. The other thing I love about this is the weight. It's 8 pounds, I believe it is. I'm getting everything I need from this. Yeah, because the amp has the capability of going from 5 watts all the way up to 200 watts. So when I use it with there's a local band I play with in America on the weekends, and I used it on 50 watts. And then in situations where I'm home recording at home and it's late at night, I put it on 5 watts. And then there's outdoor gigs where I crank that sucker to 200 watts. And you got all the headroom and all the gain and volume you need under any situation. So I mostly use it on 50 watts. And it just always sounds amazing and under any condition. Well, I like most guitar enthusiasts or purists, you realize nothing beats the sound of tubes. A valve amp is just amazing. But I'm gonna be honest with you, when I started using this amp, I saw no difference because I was using the Grandmeister Deluxe, which is a tube amp, before I started using this, and still sounded to me. I heard no difference. I felt no difference. The response, the breakup of the amp, the technology in this Black Spirit is it sounds just like a tube amp. I think you would not. Only a really discerning ear would know the difference. I've used the sag feature to get like on when I use the 4 different channels of the amp, and I don't always use all 4 of them, but I have a different sag setting on each one. Like the first channel has got a nice full body clean thing. The second channel, I changed it to another setting so it's not so much low end, but still has more punch. And the third channel, the same 4th channel, because you can use the sag button. As you increase it, you get a much more broader range of sound. As you decrease it, the sound changes. So you have to dial it into your own individual taste. I do play in stomp box mode, but all the sounds that I'm using, I've tailored into my own taste, and I use it in stomp box mode. I haven't explored because, as we mentioned earlier, a lot of the sounds are great if you're a rock player or a metal player, but I've tailored them to my own individual taste. So I haven't really explored all the presets because the thing sounds amazing as it is. It sounds amazing using Mike Scott's sound. So that's what I'm doing. That's also a good question because I do use Stratocasters and single coil guitars and other guitars that have coil taps. And you players know that when you're using humbuckers and you switch to single coils, your amp doesn't always sound the same. Sometimes you have to make some slight adjustments. So fortunately, this amp, the Black Spirit, sounds great when I use either guitar. I could play that Telecaster for you now and not change any settings. And it still sounds amazing on the same setting. What I do is roll the volume back a little bit. And when I get to the lead sounds, of course, they're always great. But I have found with this amp, I do not have to make adjustments in single coil guitars and humbucker. Yeah, it sounds great. The acoustic tone from the Era 1 is such a true acoustic tone. I also I was using Fishman acoustic amps for quite some time, but when we started using these, the size was more suitable for what we were doing because all Justin's amps were under the stage. So unfortunately, the Fishman was just a little too big, and we loved the sound of the Hughes and Kettner. So we went to Hughes and Kettner, the Era, and it's just a great, very versatile amp, and it's got the most true acoustic tone of any amp I've ever played. So, and I just love it. I don't know what to say about that amp. It's like a magical amp. It sounds. Always tell guitar players, if you play acoustic, you have to try this amp. XLR.
Excellent.
Yeah, XLR. And the other bands I play with in America, they run this also from the XLR. So I don't know, they're miking it here, but I run this exclusively from the XLR, which allows me to monitor the tone, the volume on stage. And I control the volume from my Paul Reed Smith on the body to get as I demonstrated earlier, to get the acoustic and electric balance. And this amp has a lot of power. Yeah. So it works great on any stage. I only use actually just the reverb on the acoustic amp because, you know, I'm blending an electric and an acoustic sound. So I kind of keep this a little bit dry with just a spank of reverb. Not too much, not too big, because I'm also using a reverb pedal. So on my electric. So I have the acoustic where it just has this just an ambient touch of reverb, just enough to enhance the sound, but not overpower the sound. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. For an example, Justin Timberlake was doing a particular song on the live show, and I have a Martin acoustic that sounds amazing, but the front house and the monitor guy preferred that I use the piezo from the Hollow Body 2 through the air because they thought that sounded, they thought it was a better sound than what I was getting from the Martin. It could have had to do with the feedback and the stage volume and the size of the stage, but they thought the Air 1 sounded amazing, and they preferred that I ran the electric hybrid acoustic rather than an actual acoustic. And it was a Martin, as I said. That's another good question. I have found that being here with Vince Mendoza and the WDR and all the staff and crew and everybody here, Toby and everybody, Toby's the tech here and he's been setting up all my stuff. Everyone works really hard. The band is amazing. They're on time. Everyone comes prepared to do their work. The crew in the production room there, that while they're recording, everybody's on top of their game, and it's inspiring, which makes me want to make sure that I have my shit together because they all have their shit together. So working here with the people of Germany and the WDR and Vince Mendoza, and it's just been amazing because everybody's on point. Everybody's doing their part, and which makes a much more professional production. Well, tips and tricks. Well, I would like to say, if you've never played any amp by Hughes and Kettner, you have to try one. There's several you can try. And again, I will say, if you're a metal player, I'm happy for you. That's great. And shred on. This is a shredding amp, but it does so many things in between. So if you're not a shredder, don't think that Hughes and Kettner amps are only for rock and metal guys, because you can get everything in between. The Grandmeister, the Tubemeister, Triumph, anything, the Black Spirit, you can find any tone you want on Hughes and Kettner amps. So don't be frightened by the metal and rock, the influence that they have, because this amp is very versatile. And my other tip would be just keep practicing and keep striving to be the best musician you can be. And using gear like a Hughes and Kettner gear will get you there, get you to your professional level very quickly.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Goodbye. That was. Tell me something good.
Yes.
Yeah.